Systems of Argumentative and Alternative Communication Saacs in Spain, a systematic review of the educational practice conducted in the last decade. Team members Dayana Llanos, Lizeth Camilo Ortegón, and Luis Carlos Rico. Objectives 1. Systematically analyze education practice with the use of Saacs, both high and low technology in Spain in the last 10 years. 2. Obtain a global perspective of the main lines of action as well as identify their nature according to the beneficiary context, objectives, and typology of the Saacs. Implement through the application of an evaluation matrix. 3. Improve the communication skill of the beneficiaries and promote their social interaction. Authors of the article: María del Mar Bollos Pereira, Elizabeth Pérez Izaguirre y Dolerta Apaolaza Llorente.
Relationship with the subject matter of consultation. In one of the many classes, such as this elective 3, we have dealt with topics related to SAC, which was of great help to carry out this search, since it is of vital importance as future speech therapists to know the situation in which augmentative and alternative communication strategies can be implemented and how we can manage and work it. Since our role is not only to know evaluation tests, but also to detect which authors can benefit from this SAC communication system, since it is a wide field and it is important to be able to classify the characteristics of each one of the systems in order to make an adequate speech therapy intervention.
Synthesis of the document. This article is based on the systematic analysis of educational practice with the use of Saacs that want to improve the communication skills and autonomy of the person with communication problems. In the teaching and the learning process of an Saacs. The participants involved in this study could be classified into 4 groups. 6 studies focus on people with cerebral palsy. 4 studies include participants with autism spectrum disorder, and 2 studies on attention deficit hyperactive disorder, and 1 focuses on people with Alzheimer's disease. Young children show light or the absent language, and adults demonstrate mild or severe communication difficulties. These difficulties translate into the absence of oral language, the use of unintelligible productions, or, in some cases, the use of communication strategies without helps, such as pointing out. Participants with cerebral palsy have difficulty reading or identifying species, but have effectively adhering the rules of correspondences between letters and the sounds.
Contribute to new knowledge. The article allows us to build new academic content and is of great help for our professional career, considering that this allows us to identify the types of evaluation, instruments to apply, and communication methods for speech, language, and auditory disorders, being fundamental to offer our support to these authors in order to make an interpretation where we can archive in a caring way to manage the actions of these pathologies, disorders where we can contribute and make later an intervention and follow up and start a treatment to improve their quality of life and lead a more pleasant life.
Questions based of the article that are: What is the purpose of systematizing so much research on Saacs for people with communication difficulties? What are the types of technologies used for Saacs? Did this research yield data of whether Saacs had any specific age range? What does Saacs look for in different educational settings with respect to inclusion? Could implementing Saacs for people with difficulties be a usage of inclusion? Finally, in the conclusion, the Saacs are the perfect tools for the inclusion of Sarah and other students with present disabilities named in the article. It is pertinent and established and Saacs for the whole group that they know how the different communication is recognized. And from this, the same system will take them and know what intention the person with a disability has in the communication, establishing a new language in the classroom.
Second conclusion, it is important to note that Saacs can be used with young children, good adults, and the elderly. None of the studies observed that the effectiveness of these systems is affected by the age of this beneficiary, and some of the interventions are applied in contexts with beneficiaries of different age. The herder of the beneficiaries also does not appear to be a determined variable. Regarding the context of implementation, not on information is provided on the institution in which these studies were carried out or on who is involved in these initiatives. However, we can affirm that most of the studies are carried out by the some rich group.
Conclusion. It is important to develop tools that can allow us to measure the level of commitment of parents and caregivers to the application of SAC methods. It is important to record the factor of interpersonal relationship involved in the commitment of their parents so that the implementation process is more efficient in others, whether children, youth, or adults where learning can be implemented as given this with their cognitive ability, which we can allow them through the opportunity for better interpretation and communication in the development of their language.
And finally, the reference. And well, here we say goodbye. Thank you very much for seeing and listening to us.